Hey, this is Steven from LegitTechTutorials, and welcome back to our intermediate Unity tutorial series. So we are back working on the Zombie Alamo, or Alamo Prison, whatever I decide to name it. So today we are going to work on our first weapon. So the main weapon that your character will be using, and his default weapon that never really breaks and is pretty much indestructible, is his fire axe. So his fire axe is his main weapon of choice. So what we're going to do is we are going to use the fire axe image as a little indication of when he swings, and also have a collider, a linear collider on the front edge of the axe so that we could detect hits with zombies. So let's go ahead and do that now. Also, last week, the reason why I didn't have a tutorial last week is because I got stuck on this and I didn't even notice it, is that there's this thing up here that says pivot and center. Always have this on pivot, because otherwise if it's center, you cannot change it, and then that's not exactly what we want. So let me go ahead and show you guys something with this. What we need to do is we need to actually change how this sprite is set up. So you can have it multiple or single. I'm going to do multiple just because I want it to cut it a certain way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Sprite Editor. I'm going to apply. And then it's going to automatically cut it for me. But what I want is I want to have a custom pivot. So I'm going to click Custom Pivot, and you notice that it's up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click at the center so I can move it, then hit Custom. And then I'm going to drag this pivot down at where the shoulder would be. So this now is at where the shoulder should be, and I'm going to apply this. So now the pivot's here. So that means whenever you rotate the image, he will swing from that pivot point, and you'll see that right now. So when I go back to my game and I decide to drop in that particular, what happened here? And I decide to drop in that image, you notice that that pivot point is there, and that now when you rotate it about where the shoulder would be. Now, this was the mistake that I had, and for the life of me, I could not figure it out. No matter where you put the pivot in the other screen, the center would only rotate about the center. So I don't even know why they really even have that option. But they do, and it's a small little button over here that I, for whatever reason, didn't see, because at the time it just said center. It didn't say anything else. So the only way you would have been able to figure that out is if you hovered over it. Let's do right there. That looks good. And now you notice that when we swing, let's bring it out a little bit. You can actually tell a little bit that it's off center. So let's just line it up with his eye about right there. So now you notice we're not going to get a whole lot of... the whole point is that the fire axe is not a very good weapon. So it's almost indestructible, but as you notice, you don't get any extension. And as you saw in the other one, and if I drop the zombie out here, the zombie like almost has the reach to hit you when the fire axe hits you. So it's like, you know... It's not really the best weapon, I guess you could say. So let's go ahead and look at that range of motion again one more time. I'm pretty sure I did something with this, like change the size, because it's about the size. It's the brim of his hat. Let's just make it a little bit bigger. That looks cartoonishly big. Okay. So that's fine for right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our first weapon script. So let's go ahead and do that now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new C# script, and I'm also going to rename this to fireaxe. Fireaxe. So rename this to fireaxe. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it open it up Visual Studio. And now, so what we're going to do with this, very, very simple. First, of course, what we need to do is we need to lock that. I guess what you could do is you could parent it, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to just have it translate with your character. So basically lock the transform of the pivot to your character's position. So basically what we're going to do is we need a couple things. We need a public transform, and we need character, then public game object, and this is going to be the weapon. So that's fireaxe. Then we're going to need a couple things. One thing is going to be his swing speed. So like how fast he could swing. And then one of the cool things that we are going to have in the script and in the game is that these speeds, it has two different speeds. So basically when he swings downwards, he's going to swing faster, but he's going to come upwards slower. So when he swings it down, it's fast, but when he picks it back up, it's slower. So, not equal speeds. And also you have a stamina, so whenever you swing, you use up stamina, and you basically bring it up slower and slower every single time. So that's the current swing up speed. So that, and then here's the stamina. But as of right now, what we're going to do is we're just worried about just the swing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start working on the swing stuff. Text alignment. So using Unity Engine and using Unity Engine.ui. Okay. Okay. And then we're gonna need public bool swing down equals false. Public bool swing can swing equals true. Public double rotation left equals 5, and then public double z rotation up equals 270, and public double z rotation down equals 440. Okay, so basically what these are here is this guy is swinging down, so that tells you if he's swinging downwards, right? And then once you hit a certain rotation, which this is the down rotation, so the 440, it's not, what is it called? Cornion, or however you pronounce it, is the type of rotation that they use, the type of mathematical rotation in here. They only use degrees and radians in certain periods of time. Most of the time it's Cornion, which is a different type of mathematical notation for rotation. So these are the settings for them. I think these are in degrees, and then I convert them into the Cornion. So it goes from 270 degrees down to 440. So it does that rotation, and then that is basically a swing. So basically you start at 270, you swing down to 440, and then it brings it back up to 270. So the idea is that this can swing down, or swinging down means that he's not swinging down, so he can swing is true if he's not swinging down or swinging up. So basically it comes down. When you click when you fire or you left mouse click, it sets swinging down to true, goes all the way down to 440, or all the way down to 440, and then it sets it to swinging up. So swing down is true. It comes up, and then it resets can swing from false, which it immediately does once you click, back to true. So that way you can't swing again until you bring your fire axe all the way back up. And then I think this was just something I was messing around with, mouse location. That was just something I was messing around with. Okay, so we're not going to need start again. Oops. So, some very simple stuff that we need to do. We need to have your weapon follow you. Character.GameObject.active. So basically, this is for a death. If you die, then you're gonna basically turn this off. Basically, gonna get rid of the weapon. Okay. You're not. So let's just go ahead and do only the swinging animation stuff. Okay. So here we're gonna do swing down equals true. So if you can swing, oopsies. If you can swing, it will allow you to do that, to do so. So rotation left equals float, rotation left plus swing down speed multiplied by time dot delta time. And then weapon dot transform dot rotation equals quarter neon, and then it uses a Euler Euler, whatever you want to call it. People debate about that all the time. I can't even remember what the real is anymore. I think it's actually Euler. His name's not Euler, it's Euler. Whatever. You can correct me in the comments if you want. I can't remember all the diffy Q stuff. Rotation left is less than Z rotation down. And then weapon dot transform dot rotation equals quarter neon Euler 0. 0, 0. Float. Z rotation down. Mouse is getting in my way. Z rotation down. Rotation left. Z rotation down. Swing down equals false. Okay, so let me just, I got quite a bit more left, so let me just explain what happened here. So basically what's happening here is that when you trigger fire, it's basically going to turn this from swing, it's basically going to turn swing down from false to true, and then it's going to go, once it goes past that click and back through the update, it'll see this method, go into it because this conditional is true, and then basically what you have is you have this this integer rotation left. That's basically how many degrees you have left. Is a float, so this is concatenating it to a float, and then you basically have your swing down speed is time times delta time, and if you remember my beginner tutorial series, that is so that swing speed is the same on every device, regardless of how fast your hardware is on that device and how many frames per second you're actually pumping out. Because obviously a computer would pump out a lot more frames than a mobile device would. Okay, then we have the weapon, and it will actually do the transform. So it'll start rotating, so you can actually see it on screen, and also rotate it so you can see the collider hit with whatever you're hitting or completely miss. So you see it actually rotating and quarter neon Euler. And then you see that it's actually just taking the rotations left. So I'm giving it, I think I'm just giving it, it wasn't actual like degrees, it was just something that I found by experimenting. And then basically while it's higher, while this is higher than the down, it just keep rotating until it hits this point. And then once it does, it comes back up. So, and then you see that the swing down turns into false. So now the axe is coming back up. So now you probably guessed, since we have the swing down equals false, we need to now have the if loop for when swing down equals false. So another issue with this that I just seen right now is that every time it goes through and you haven't clicked yet, it's going to go into here. But you should be okay. Time delta time. What the hell? What the hell is going on? There you go. Rotation left. Okay. So now we're rotating it up. Rotation equals quarter neon dot Euler 0 0 float rotation left. Okay. So I'm gonna say if rotation left, z rotation up. Euler 0 0 float z rotation up. Okay, rotation left equals c rotation up, and swing equals true. Okay, so then we have a couple more things. This dot trans. Okay, so let me before I do that, let's go over this. So yet again, you notice that it's basically identical to what this is, except for this is switched from a plus to a minus. So we're going back up, going opposite rotation, and it just brings your weapon back up, and then these flip from greater than to less than, and yeah, so everything here is identical. And then after that, it switches can swing to true. So now if you click, it will allow you to actually, swing, right? Okay. There's new vector 3 character local. So this is, like I said, where we're mapping the character's position and stuff. Okay, so now finally all we got left is the actual fire button to actually handle the you're firing, you clicking on the screen if it's mobile, or clicking your mouse. What the hell happened here? Stamina loss. Current swing up speed equals swing up speed multiplied by stamina divided by 100. For whatever reason, oh, that's why. Okay. So here I'm just doing a quick HUD thing, which I haven't added yet. Swing down equals true. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to comment that out. Comment that out. Can swing equals false. Alright, so let me go back over what all this stuff does here. Okay, so basically what happens is all this stuff, I mean, if it's false, which it starts out being false, it will go into this and then not really do anything. So what it should be is this, and can swing equals false. So technically it would go in there. Because once you click, it says can swing to false, so can swing to false, can swing to. So that should fix that. From going in there every single time and wasting, you know, and limiting your frames per second, so you get higher frames per second by not going through these few lines. Okay. So basically it goes through, and then you click on the screen. So click on the screen, or you click fire, or you click your left mouse button, or I think it was the left control on your keyboard. Basically what it does is it goes in here as long as you can swing, so that means that as long as this animation hasn't already fired and it's coming all the way back up to where your character's at maximum extension with his fire axe, then you can come back down. So basically what it does is sets rotation left to one of our final variables up top there, and then sets your stamina and minus your stamina loss. So basically it goes up and down. Every time you go up and down, you lose stamina each and every time. And then current swing up speed is equal to the swing up speed multiplied by stamina divided by 100. So you're basically multiplying it by a number smaller than 1. So for example, if you have 90%, so if you have 90% of your stamina left, it multiplies it by 0.9, which is 90%. So 90% of 100 would be 90. So that's the idea. And then this just basically maps that to the HUD. Then it swings, swing down is true, so you're swinging down. And then you cannot swing in false, so if you select can swing to false. So if you try to fire again, it will not go in because it needs can swing has to also be true. So then since your swing down is equal to true, it will go in here and it will look at your rotations left and basically keep going down until you hit the bottom, and then set that to false, swing down to false. So next time it goes back down here and sees that your can swing is false and also your swing down is false, which you just set, it will come back up. So it comes back up, and then locks. And then once it locks, it selects can swing to true, and then allows you to click again. And next time you click, it'll go all the way back through this again because you're resetting this this little final variable there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to build solution, and there's issue here. There's a warning. So line is it? Line 0. Oh. Okay. So it says one successful. Alright. So what we're going to do is I actually attached it to fireaxe, I believe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach that script to the fireaxe. Fireaxe. Oh crap. Because I changed the name. Fireaxe. Okay. Build solution. There we go. So that was the error. It tried to help me with that error, but didn't see it. There it goes. Okay. So player. Weapon. Oop. This. Fireaxe. What the hell? Okay, weapon, fireaxe. Can't swing down, blah blah blah, swing down, true, whatever. Okay. So, let's wait till it starts. For whatever reason on this computer, stuff compiling just takes forever. So it's obviously too high. Oh, it's per okay, so he's gotta go this way. So say what was it at before? 260, so let's do like 300 or so. So I want it to be like above his head, like almost perfectly above his head. Well, what does it say here? Rotation 350. So I want it to be something like that. I don't think that these are exactly, because you notice that the other one was pretty close. Oh, hey, it does work. Okay, so then I guess it is exact rate. I guess it is the exact rating comparison. And then want it to end about right, probably where it hits his leg. That's fine. And that is 415, 415. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set his swing down speed 25. And then if you notice, watch his swing out his feet here. Super slow. So that's exactly what we want. And then if we had the HUD, we would notice that his stamina is actually getting lower and lower. So let's say it's just like 60 is probably realistic. And then this one about 30, about half. Way too slow for down. Let's give it even more. Swing up. Swing up is pretty close, like 45. And then he swings up, swings again. I'm just not digging the swing down speed. It's gonna be a quick right, you know. That's a little too fast, a little too slow. And then I'm gonna bump this up 50. That's a little better. Still a little slow. There we go. Let's even bump it up a little farther. Let's see what it looks like really far. Whoa. Okay. Alright. It's a little too fast. It's a little too fast. So if you know you're moving around, that's a little better. That's perfect. Swing on speed, about 65. And also notice if it doesn't look the same every time, of course it's not, because it's subtracting, it's taking a percentage of that every single time. So if you notice, if I sit here and swing long enough, it takes longer. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5. So it gets, you know, it takes longer and longer and longer. You notice that if I had the HUD here and it told you exactly how much stamina was going down, but to me, that looks perfect. And but since that's like 100%, since this is like 100% of what his stamina is, it should be relatively quick at the beginning, which even that is still a little slow, because this is the highest it would ever get. It would only get lower from here. So now if you notice here, since the number's bigger, the percentages every time it cuts off a farther and farther chunk. And I've had it that every zombie takes at least 2 hits to kill. So you're talking like each time you take down 5% off. So, you know, as you see now, it's getting really, really drastic. Alright, so that is basically it. So let's go ahead and go back in here and recap what exactly we did here. So we have a swinging animation, and we have a top location and a bottom location. And you start the game at the top location, and it swings down. When you click the left trigger, it swings down, hits the bottom, comes back up, locks, and allows you to swing. So how do we do that? We have a fire 1, get button down fire 1. And it basically goes in and sets your rotation left, which is basically an upper and lower bound. And then your stamina, which basically takes away your swing speed, your swing up speed, not your swing down speed. Your swing down speed doesn't get any lower, because, you know, the weight of the axe is not getting any less when you swing it down. But when you bring it back up, when you apply work to bring it back up, rather than letting it just fall and letting it use potential energy to come down, but when you need to add, you know, kinetic energy to it to increase potential energy, then it takes some effort. So that is here, which basically takes your stamina and divides that by 100. So it allows you to get a percentage. You multiply that smaller than 1 digit number value, double value, and then that gives you your current swing out speed. So then it sets these. And then it goes through, it swings from the top, down, rotates, keeps rotating till it goes past that rotation. And then it will come back up, and as it comes back up, it'll lock by the exact same method, except for instead of a plus, it's a minus. Comes back up, locks, and then it will allow you to swing again. And that is basically it. So remember, guys, every single tutorial, make sure that you save your scenes very often. I sometimes forget to say it at the end, but make sure that you save your scenes, guys. Alright, so this has been Steven from LegitTechTutorials. I thank you guys for watching. If you like this video in this series, please subscribe for videos in this series and other series like it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.